Lewis, a year ago, you're working on recovery. Now you've had international call-ups, playing a full year. Just looking back 1 year, what's it been like? What's that journey been like? And how do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's been a bit of a whirlwind, obviously. Loads of ups and downs. Even in my recovery, some days where you don't feel 100%. So obviously came a long way. This year's been good on an individual level. Just getting back to playing, to be honest, is the most important thing, and then everything else has really been a bonus. So happy to be back at Red Bull, and big game at the weekend, and getting back to club football is exciting.
How difficult is that too, coming back to you've been away a bit, coming back, reintegrating into the team, especially with MLS, with these summer months normally in the European calendar, nothing is going on. How difficult is that to come back and readjust as quickly as you have?
Yeah, I mean, that's just the vigours of football, really. It's always an honour to get called up in international duty, so it's a privilege rather than something to look at in terms of, I need to reintegrate, and it's a good thing to be with the national team and then back here. So I'm just taking everything in my stride, and now I'm looking forward to the weekend against Chicago.
Lastly, what's your outlook on the rest of the season for you? Are you happy where you are at this point, stat-wise, or what else are you looking to do before the end of the season?
Stats-wise, not really. Obviously, the one thing with the stop-start and stuff is that you miss out on games, and I look around the league and I think I could be close to that golden boot. So stats-wise, I still want to try and get as close as I can to that. So obviously we've got, I think, 6 games left in the season now in the regular year. So I've just got to try and get the stats as good as I can, because when I do that, it's when I'm helping the team. So as a forward player, I need to make sure that goals and assists are at the front of my mind.
You saw more time with the Scottish national team, like this time around, than you do in the Euros. Can you talk about what your experience was, and what did you learn from this time around that you're bringing back into this final stretch of the season? Is there anything you picked up or anything new?
I'm not really sure in terms of picking up or anything new. I was only away. It's always a short time you get with the national team, but just being exposed to different environments as a footballer and testing yourselves at different levels and the highest stage, and with players of really, really top qualities, there's always stuff to learn and improve on, and from training, and it's always good to go away with the national team. The standard's very, very high with Scotland and in the games we play against, so just taking that and trying to use that as momentum for club.
And something else with this team is that, you look at the availability reports, like for that past few months, you obviously see people out with injury, out with international duty. Last game, it was like 5 or so players. Going into this final stretch of the season, there's no more international breaks. You're going to be at full strength, and Neil's getting healthier. What's that going to be like for you guys as a team to be at full strength for this final 6 games going to playoffs?
Yeah, we obviously, when you can have all your players available, it's obviously a bonus. And I think that's just testament to the club and the platform that we've got here, that we do have players that are in the international scene. And I think for the club that's a good thing as well, although in the short term, when you miss Carlos, you miss Noah, JMI's been away during the year, Emil's been away, it's tough to deal with them in those one-off games or the stretch of games that they miss, but on the grand scheme of things, you want your players performing at the highest level and getting called up at international level. So hopefully, I think, is there any more international breaks? One in October,
I think so.
Maybe?
Oh, there is?
In October,
Yeah,
so it's just something we need to take in our stride. Of course, once it gets to the playoffs, which is what it really, really matters, there's not going to be international breaks, and just to hopefully have everyone fit and ready to go.
And lastly, while you were away, you had 2 of your teammates return to the field, Serge and Pierre Stroud. Just talk about what you saw from them while you were abroad, and sure you had to watch the tape, and you've been on the field with them. So what's it been like to see them get back to it?
Yeah, brilliant. Actually, I think they'd both played just before I'd left, so it was good to see them. And obviously, I've been in their shoes and been injured and missing a big chunk of the season. So to see them back and all the work they put in off the field, and to be rewarded with that, and now they're back amongst the groups, is brilliant to see.